Exactly, and it's all possible. It's very different situation now.
During the second workshop, I think what we tried to think about was how long development processes take, and that it's a temporal process. It's not just a spatial process. It's not just a case of us all getting together, drawing something out on paper and it being there the next week. It would be lovely if it was, but that's kind of not how those things work. So we tried to look at a timeline for the process, which was very rough and very sketchy, but thinking about the different steps that you have to go through in order to get from where we are now, which is kind of the very, very start of the process, to having something that was built and finished, and even something that, you know, had been lived in for a few years. Do is come together and stick them on this timeline here, which I'm going to go from, I think I'm going to go from 2010 to 2020. I know that lots of stuff happened before 2010, but I think for this process it's important to think about the future as well. So there will be various things that you need to think about, like how do we decide what goes next on this block? Who do we need to speak to? Who do we need to involve in the process? And then what kind of stuff do we want to see? And I think we can be quite free-ranging about this.
We've got some funding from the Nationwide Foundation, some funding like here from Johnny who knows where. There's all sorts of bits.
What is the same thing similar to the ones where people not afraid to see people certain gateways as well?
Dereliction, basically. That's what's fine. Yeah, we'll start with dereliction.
Look at a few case studies and that to see what might have worked with others and what might be what people needed on there, or what they might possibly need. Because it's found, in my opinion, is that whatever's being knocked down is usually what people need. It's not a case of what you want, it's what you need on there. Which I think that's important.
Affordable housing, shared ownership. Research into the needs of the community, finding out exactly what is needed in the community and what is wanted. Community building, getting traineeships, apprenticeships in the area.
The border we realised is right halfway down that road. So here we're in Everton, and there we're in Anfield. So we're of no borders politics. We need to blur the border boundary, because then if we're thinking about particular pots of money or particular little bits of legislation or who to talk to and who to get the most of, then borders actually work against us.
It is now, and that's kind of an idea of what people want. Some of them on the, I mean, things like that.
It probably won't.
Maybe one from each.
Running events together. I mean, there was a running event here at Sandal Park.
The ideas that come out was a vision that's realistic, that comes out there. What, you know, mistakes in the past, learn from them. We'll see a vision that's realistic and that's sustainable on there, and you know, one that's really going to happen. It's not just going to be another pipe dream. It's going to like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be proud of the area. You want your kids, your grandkids to work here, to live here. You want to be able to turn around and go, you know, this is where you're from. You know, this is the place where you want to be proud of. You know, and you kind of want to be like, I was part of that. You know, and that's going to always be. That'll be there at the end. Businesses come in and they go in and you think, that's what you're after. That's exactly what you want. A future.